Coming up next, a man accused of killing a Cathedral Catholic high school teacher testifies in his own defense. We're in court.
In Canto, Mountain View, Lincoln Park, all of District 4 is getting a new city council representative. Details in a live report.
Governor Gavin Newsom campaigned hard for Prop 1, but tonight it is still too close to call. We'll talk to a political expert about what happened.
Much needed repairs and maintenance at the Encanto Recreation Center, as well as other parks south of the 8. So what's being done about it? I'm working for you.
There's a unique healing power with therapy dogs on pediatric patients. I'm Abby Black, working for kids. Rady Children's Hospital wants to add more of that medicine.
It's a new book about
Old Town San Diego.
Through My Father's Eyes.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now. The man charged with murdering a Cathedral Catholic high school teacher took the witness stand in his own defense today. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan in for Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. As CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, Jesse Alvarez testified that he shot his ex-girlfriend's fiancé in self-defense.
I do have some kind of mental disability.
Jesse Alvarez started out on the witness stand telling the jury he was autistic and obsessive-compulsive. He said he met Amy Gambara, a teacher at Cathedral Catholic High School, on a dating app.
You know, on our first date in the first week of June 2015, I invited her to a concert, and I picked her up in my car, and I brought her some red roses.
Alvarez testified they dated on and off for years, and he was heartbroken when they broke up in 2019. Then in 2020, he saw a post on the Cathedral Catholic Facebook page announcing Amy's engagement to another teacher at the school, Mario Fierro.
Yeah, I was announcing their engagement, and I was super shocked because I didn't even know she was in a relationship, much less getting engaged.
Alvarez said he obsessed about the engagement and fantasized about killing Fierro. Googling, quote, how to kill your ex's fiancé and how to kill someone with a handgun. On the morning of February 1st, 2021, he drove to Fierro's home in North Park and shot him, he says, in self-defense.
That day, February 1st, 2021, was the most traumatic day of my life. I almost died, and then I had a very regretful altercation, and I also was arrested in a very violent fashion.
Alvarez said he was going to North Park to meet Fierro, not murder him.
My dad has always taught me from a young age that, talking face to face is the best. And so anyways, yeah, I just decided that for all those reasons that maybe I could just catch him on his way to work and just talk to him for a little bit.
But prosecutors say Alvarez was lying in wait and he murdered Fierro in cold blood. He faces life in prison without parole if convicted. It will be up to a jury to decide who they believe.
Just, talk with them about Amy, just clear up any concerns I had, wish them on their engagement, and then fully move on.
Questioning of Alvarez on the witness stand will continue Thursday. After that, the defense indicates they have one expert witness to put on the stand before closing arguments will begin. At the downtown courthouse, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Day started out pretty clear and sunny, but the rain began to arrive this afternoon.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis here with what we're looking at and the conditions of what's ahead tonight. Carlene?
Looks can be deceiving. Just don't think because you see sunshine so early that it's going to stick around.
There you go.
Some real changes.
Yeah, exactly. So it was the calm before the storm this morning as we had that cold front that was still well offshore, but now it's starting to make its impact, and we've been seeing an active radar over the last couple of hours. When we look at the current radar sweep, so we've seen rain moving in for the last 3 hours, and where we see it the heaviest at this moment is across the South Bay. You're also seeing that for downtown. You're seeing that for Bay Park. You're seeing that for Coronado, National City, and then also for Chula Vista and for North Park. So that's where we're seeing a heavier concentration of rain at this moment. But we take a more expansive look. You are also looking at an area in North County that's dealing with some lighter rain, but we do have even more that's in store. And so that's why we have the flood advisory that has been issued for portions of North County. That's where the heavier rain was over the last couple of hours, and so a lot of that's still on the ground. If your drive takes you along the 5 for this evening before about 7:42, just keep in mind that you could encounter some of that ponding on the roadways, and with even more rain that's in the forecast as we go through the next hour or so, we are talking about more of that ponding. So that's why the flood advisory has been issued for that particular portion of our county. We also have another alert, and that's because of snow. We'll get to those details coming up. Carlo, Jesse.
San Diego City Council District 4 was devastated in recent flooding at a time they had no one representing them on the council, but help may be on the way sooner rather than later.
Henry Foster III is trending toward an outright win in yesterday's election and could take office in weeks. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is live at Lincoln High School tonight with what people in the area say they want and what Foster says he will do. Kirsten?
Homelessness, fixing streets, and making maintenance such a priority that the people in this district never see the devastation they saw with the January 22nd storms ever again. Those are just a few of the things that the people I talked to in District 4 say they want going forward. I'm here at Lincoln High School, which serves District 4, because parents say they want their community to be the finest in America's finest city, because that's what they and their children deserve.
Just make it make sense to me.
Stefania and her cousin Brenda live in District 4, and they say they're taxpayers and they want to see their tax dollars working for them just like everyone else.
We need our streets repaired. We need better patrolling, nice police officers that understands our community. If they don't understand our communities, we don't need them. We really want our whole District 4 to look just like it does over across 8, like La Jolla. Del Mar, we want to live like that too.
Now that Henry Foster III is likely going to be their city councilman,
I'm ready for him to get his boots to the ground, and if there's anything that he may need, we got a good community here, and I'm quite sure we have people that is willing to work with him.
He was the person that was elected, so he better be the one to be able to do it.
Dwayne Harvey is the president of the Community Council at the Willie Henderson Rec Center. He's been volunteering to help flood victims from District 4.
The drains used to be cleaned out on an annual basis, and I know that because I worked for the city and I used to clean them out. But I don't know, they stopped years ago. They really basically stopped cleaning them out, at least in our community.
Volunteers say because there are no hotels here inside of District 4, they had to send those neighbors elsewhere.
They still need help. They're going to be needing help for months on end.
I'd like to think, based on what has happened, that they see what disinvestment does to a community.
CBS 8 was there moments after early returns on Super Tuesday put Foster in line to be District 4's next city councilman. He says his top priority is recovering from the January 22nd storm. The District 4 seat has been open since Monica Montgomery Stepp was elected to the County Board of Supervisors. Foster has been her chief of staff for a long time serving this district. We reached out to Foster for comment on today's story, but we're still waiting to hear back. But what I can tell you is that everyone I talked to today in District 4 says that they are ready and waiting for him to get to work, and they're ready to work with him to build a better community. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Thanks, Kirsten. San Diego's mayoral race appears to be set, with incumbent Mayor Todd Gloria facing off with SDPD officer Larry Turner in November. But there's still a question about Turner's residency. A court hearing on that is set for March 29th. Turner maintains he was a resident of San Diego when he filed papers last year to run. But if the court should rule against him, then the third-placed candidate in the primary, Genevieve Jones-Wright, would take his place on the ballot in the November election.
One issue that's still too close to call tonight is Proposition 1. That centers around a $6.4 billion bond to fund new facilities for mental health and addiction treatment.
As CBS 8's Steve Price explains, bond measures like Prop 1 usually do well on statewide ballots, but this one is different and could cause Governor Gavin Newsom to take a big political hit.
Prop 1, which would sell bonds to help pay for mental health treatment facilities and some housing options for those facing homelessness, only needs a simple majority to pass. But right now, Prop 1 is close. The yes vote winning by less than 15,000 votes. This despite a statewide push from Governor Gavin Newsom.
across the spectrum of support, people get it.
This was Newsom in San Diego last week with Mayor Todd Gloria drumming up support for Prop 1, which would have the state borrow and spend $6.4 billion. $2 billion of that is aimed at homelessness. That'll go into a state program that uses existing hotels and motels to house people. It also builds some new housing units. The bigger slice would pay for new facilities for mental health and addiction treatment.
Yeah, this is surprisingly close.
UC San Diego political science professor Thad Kauser says bonds almost always pass in California, especially ones with so much political support. So what happened here?
The fact that it's struggling really shows that the Californians are concerned about homelessness, but wary about pouring billions more into addressing it.
Kauser says voters know the state has already spent billions on this issue, but still see more and more people on the street, creating doubt that spending even more money will fix the problem.
You know, I think we haven't had a clear case made that the billions of dollars that California has already invested has really made a dent in homelessness, because what we see is those homelessness numbers keep going up and we keep seeing that on the streets.
For Newsom, the success of Prop 1 could play a huge role in his legacy. He has focused for years on solving the state's homelessness issue, and that could also affect any future plans he has to run for higher office.
He needs the political win here. It would be embarrassing if this initiative that he stakes so much of his reputation on and his campaign dollars in loses.
A Prop 1 loss would also raise eyebrows for supporters of several bond issues on the ballot in November. But Kauser warns it's still too early to predict Prop 1's future. There are over 1 million ballots yet to be counted. Steve Price, CBS 8.
Thanks, Steve. Still ahead tonight, what Nikki Haley is saying about former President Donald Trump after announcing she's out of the Republican presidential race.
Plus, bringing therapy dogs to kids at Rady Children's Hospital. CBS 8's a partner, and you can help out too.
And we're working for you in forgotten neighborhoods. Tonight, a local recreation center badly in need of a facelift.